les musiques là. Donc, il est parti, coach.
Yo, welcome back to Football Unfiltered. I'm your host, Carl Philippe, and sitting across of me, as always, is my brother Alain. And brother, tonight we're not starting with transfers. We're not starting with Mourinho. We're not starting with Real Madrid or the Premier League or any of that. Tonight we start with a man, with a father, with the GOAT, Leo Messi, who just lost his dad. And you're a father. If you're a father listening to this right now, you already know what that means. We're going to talk about it. Real talk, no highlights, no stats, just life. Then we'll get into the madness heading into the season because, brother, this is a lot of madness. Transfers, Mourinho back at Real Madrid, looking to kind of running back. So we got receipt and you got ticks. So let's go. Alain, how you doing?
I'm doing great, coach. How about yourself?
I'm doing really well, man. So, as I mentioned earlier, so we're gonna start with what just happened like a week ago when Leo Messi's dad passed away. Obviously, he was ill, and I know Messi kind of mentioned that during the World Cup. And this Monday, he had a great tribute to his dad to Instagram when he talked about how much the death of his dad means to him and to his life going forward. So I'm gonna start myself first because I myself met Messi dad couple years ago. So that was back in we went down to Brazil for the World Cup in 2014. I'm gonna try to get the picture. So we went to Brazil in 2014 for the World Cup, and me and a couple friends, we were just having lunch in a random Brazilian restaurant, and next thing you know, Messi's family was eating next to us. So I went and kind of talked to him, and I got to tell you something funny, man. So at first I came in, tried to speak some Spanish. Hey, man, I used up all my Spanish in 10 seconds, man. I was like, whoa, all the Spanish I learned from Sano, I used them up in 10 seconds. So he could hear that we were speaking English among ourselves. And he said, hey, I do speak English. So, and then we talked to him, and because the day before that, Argentina played Iran. And that's when Messi scored that beautiful curveball in injury time. And I was just talking to him. I said, yeah, I'm a big Argentina fan. I was an Argentina fan since 1986. I'm a big Maradona fan, and I flew all the way so I could just watch Argentina. And what his answer to me when I say that, he said, "Man, I feel honored that you guys came all the way from the U.S. to watch Argentina." And I was like, "No, man, the honor is all mine." But the one thing that was very impressive is the fact that he stopped doing what he was doing. Actually, they were leaving. They were leaving the restaurant. So he introduced us to his entire family. Actually, Leo Messi wasn't there because he was still with the Argentina camp. But he introduced me to Messi's mom, Messi's wife, his kid. As a matter of fact, his oldest was a toddler at the time, and Messi's brother and stuff like that. And it just treated us like, think about it. You're in a restaurant, you got three guys coming to and start talking to you, and we were like three strangers, and then he treated us like we were like family, like he know who we were. And the last part of it was when it was time to take a picture, and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, you don't mind if we take your picture?" He said, "Oh, no problem." So and his son, one of his son, I think is Matias, he was holding a baby at the time, and then he asked him to put the baby down so he could took my phone and took a picture of us. And this is the picture that you see right now. So very humble, very nice person, and and the way he he made us feel that day, is something that I'm never gonna forget. And again, but the reason we start the show with this because Alain, you and I are father ourselves, and we understand. And obviously everybody can talk about the accolades of Messi, what he accomplished, but he's a son himself. He was a son, and his dad was very part of this journey. His dad made the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, we talk about as fathers, we make sacrifice every day. His dad made the ultimate sacrifice to move all the way to Barcelona, to another country, when Barcelona offered to give Messi treatment with this growth hormone deficiency. So make the move, left his family behind just to be with his son, and that was the ultimate sacrifice. So I think for us as dad, we're looking at it from a different perspective. That's from the human aspect of it. So Ale, I'm gonna ask you that question because you're a dad yourself. How, we make sacrifice every day, and we know the love that we have for our kids, especially our kids or sons or daughters. So, as a dad, what does that mean to you when you talk about this passing?
Well, well, I can only express it from a son perspective, right? Because Messi lost his father, right?
Yeah.
So I can only understand the pain that he feels because of the role that my father currently plays in my life. I've seen the struggles, I've seen the sacrifices over the last years, the last not the, my entire life, right, since we were kids. I know what how hard it is to be a father and how hard it is to be a great dad. Um, Everything that I have today, I owe it to my parents, my mom, especially my dad, for teaching me how to be a man, how to be a great father, how to stand up for myself, how to make sure that I get respected, how do I fight for my values and for what I want, and I hope to transfer those values to my son and daughters.
Hmm.
And I can tell you, having a dad in your life is like the biggest gift that you have, because at the end of the day, there's come a phase where your dad stops being your father. He becomes your best friend. He becomes your confidant. You still have that mutual respect for him, but he plays a bigger role. So I definitely understand how Messi feels. His father believed in him. His father decided to leave his country and go to Spain so his son could have a chance. His father had no idea that Messi was going to be what it is today, but because of love and sacrifices, that you know what, we're just going to move there because it's going to be a better opportunity for my son. And this
Hmm.
is love, this is heart, this is commitment, this is a father's true love. So Messi knows, Lionel Messi knows exactly what he lost. And I read, what he said about his dad, and it feels genuine, and I understand. I understand, and I would like to pay my respect, my sincere condolences to Messi and his entire family, and our prayers and thoughts are with him and his family.
Yeah, and that Alan, thank you for being very upfront here and be vulnerable. To kind of talk about your relationship with your own father, right? So those are the things. For some of you that know us, all right, we have something called we have a project that we started about a year ago called Fit That Community. So and that goes along with the same uh, which is a faith driven fatherhood and fitness that we started a journey about a year ago. And that's what we want, is to build strong families, is to have strong father, to have strong families. And and that's what that story hit home, because that's exactly what we want. I mean, when you're looking at Jorge Messi legacy with with what he have when it comes to Messi, the way the world is talking about him, the way the world loves him, and also all the accomplishment and all the accolades that that it's part of that legacy, right? So that's something that it's gonna stay with him forever. It's the legacy that he forged. Everybody now, like you said, when he made that sacrifice a couple years back to go to Barcelona, he never knew that at some point people will be talking about his son as one of the greatest players to ever play this game. So that's something that he said, that what, I believe in you, right? And I remember watching I think it was from a podcast. What's that podcast name with with the football players? I forgot the name. The Pivot, and
Mhm.
there's a podcast with Pivot, and what's his name was on that, and then he was talking about father. He said one of the thing about father, right? Your father is the only one that wants you to be better than him, right? And it was just like he's gonna, your friends love you, they root for you, but they don't want you to be better than them. It said father is the only man in the world that want his son to be better than him. So when he lost his father, uh it was Steve Harvey, and he said when he loves his father, he said he lost that man who's gonna say that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, man. So, and you can see that the pain and Messi tribute is the fact that he even associated that with his future when it comes to soccer. And he said that I don't know if I can do it anymore because I was playing because I know how much you love soccer, how much you love watching me, and not having you around to watch me, he doesn't know how to deal with it. But we understand everybody grieve differently. But for us, and that's what we want to create and to fit that community is that strength. Like our kids, just like you said, Ale, what you learn from your father and what you want to pass down to your son, to your son, and hopefully he can pass down to his kids, at some point. But that's the true legacy. So, I know that we here in the states. I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and hey, you're in Jacksonville.
Mhm.
So for people watching us right now, and some people might go through some same experience that Messi is going through right now. Just lost, losing a father or a mother. So, what would your advice and how would you empathize with them?
With the folks that lost their parents, you said?
Yeah, yeah, that's going through the same kind of tragedy as Messi is going through right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in that situation, so out of respect for them, they are the only ones who can only know the pain that they're going through. So I want to be respectful
Yep.
to that. I have a lot of friends that have lost a mom, a dad, or even both parents, where their parents are not living today. All I can say is continue to live your life the way they wanted you to live your life, right? Continue to
Hmm.
honor them through to abiding to their values, to what they taught you, even though they're not with you physically, but they're with you in spirits. So
Yep.
they're right there looking over you. They're looking at your kids. They're looking at everything that you're there for, that you're doing. And then they'll be always, always be in your heart. So cherish those memories, those special moments. And for those of you who still have the privilege and the blessings to have your parents around, tell them every day that you love them. Pray them, enjoy those moments, call them, check on them, and listen to them. Give them that minute, that 30 second, because life is short. You just never know what tomorrow brings, and just make sure you celebrate your parents on a daily basis.
No, well said, man. Well said. So again, we wanted to start the show by paying respect, and obviously, he was more than the father of Messi. I mean, he was very instrumental. He was very involved in the game. Obviously, he was Messi agent. He was Messi business. He ran Messi's business, so he was very instrumental to what Messi is today. So that's that. He's as much as football than anything else. And it's no disrespect with other people, other players who also lost their fathers or people, a parent. But like Jorge Messi was more than Messi's dad, right? It was just like he was very involved in the game, and he was at his side all the time. And we saw even during this moment when he was going to trial. for tax evasion in in Spain. He was, by his son's side, and then tried to go to it with him. So, like you said, we wanna we wanna pay him respect, and hopefully, obviously, we football fans, we want him. We know that football is Messi's refuge, so that's the way for him. That's how we know him, and we hope that he can go to this and grieve as much as he can, and then hopefully he can continue to give us some beautiful moments on the field. And he's not retiring yet, because we still want to see him playing at his at his best. And I know he's going through some right now with Inter Miami, but hopefully it's short lived, and he can get back to it. Like we saw how he performed in the World Cup. Anyway, enough of that. We got a season coming up, and there's a lot of transfer going on. So we got the what we call the transfer circus right now, and a lot of players, a lot of moving parts. There's talks that Rodri, that was the best player in the World Cup, he's gonna be playing for FC Barcelona. We know the transfer battle right now with Julian Alvarez between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. Julian Alvarez wants to go to Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid staying put and say, nope, we're not going there. Obviously, Cuti Romero is going to play for Atletico Madrid. Molina went to Fiorentina. So there's a lot of moving parts, man. And it's always make it exciting, for the start of the season, to see all those players, in new homes. So out of all the players that I mentioned, and maybe some of the players I did not mention, who are you more excited to see in the new home?
I mean, I think the Rodri to Barcelona, it's the main one. I think that's the most popular one out there. I think Manchester City, they kind of are entertaining the offer to have Rodri go to Barcelona. I think that's going to be a very very interesting transfer. I think um, Rodri is a talented midfielder. When you read about all the transfers that are happening in Real Madrid, from what the internet is saying, it's like Real Madrid is building this super squad, like France built their super squad. So listening to what people are saying online, you're almost saying that Real Madrid is the favorite to win the UFC, the UCL, the La Liga. Like that's the team to beat. Well, now it feels like okay. Now it seems like Barcelona is getting a little bit of some momentum here. So I'm interested to see how this is gonna pan out. But I don't know. I feel like this season is gonna be exciting. I feel confident that Real Madrid is not playing. There's a lot of great things happening on their side of the fence. I think if Barcelona can have Rodri and then you already have Lamine Yamal and all those other guys already there, I don't know. I feel like it's something that's gonna be very exciting for us. The only thing I'm gonna say, because like I haven't heard anything about Olise. I mean, I know that was a big talk during the World Cup that he was
Mhm.
supposed to go to Madrid,
Well,
was interested. So what happened?
I think it was just talk. I don't think there was anything concrete when it comes to him moving to Real Madrid. So sometimes it's funny that I'm glad that you said that. After each World Cup or after each season, everybody, the fans always think that this is where somebody needs to go. you know. So, and then I think right now with the power of the internet, we will live in the world of AI where people can create stuff. So, and there's a lot of fake news out there. So people are creating stuff based on what they want to see. And I think that's the problem right now with the world of sport. It's just like we put in stuff out there because that's what we want to see. So we create a narrative around it. So, but Real Madrid never came out to say that Olise was a target player for them. Like they wanted to go after that, and also Bayern never really never said that. Okay, Olise it's available for the right price. So I think again, this is soccer. Anything can happen, right? And I mean, we might wake up tomorrow morning and then we saw that Olise is going to Real Madrid for his physical. I mean, anything can happen. I would never say no, but it's very typical after big tournaments or after a long season when fans want to talk about what they like to see. But with no concrete information, and they just create a story and then they just run with it, right? Uh, for so many, for so long, everybody said that it was a dead deal. I mean, it was a deal between Julian Alvarez and Barcelona, right? So to the point that Atletico Madrid, I had to come out the Friday before the final to say that Julian Alvarez is not going anywhere. He's staying and is staying in Atletico Madrid, and then you can see obviously most of the players are back. Uh, most of the players are back now from their vacation, and you can see him practicing. He doesn't look like he's happy. But anyway, but we don't know where everything got. We don't know where everything started. But I feel like right now, with the social media and with how news gets circulated, it's just like a lot of times it's just what people want to see, and then they just run with it.
Ca- Can I say something, Coach? And maybe you can educate me. I'm kind of old school here. Like, what is it about the players being happy? Like, since when the players decided what they wanted, where they want to go? Like, they play one season there, then they feel like, I don't want to play here anymore. Those guys are making millions of dollars, right? I
Uh,
mean, when did they become prima donna? Is it because the NFL, the NBA, are following what the American players are doing here in the States and trying to decide their own fate? Is that what's happening in the soccer world? Like, for example, Vini with Real Madrid. This entire
yeah.
summer was about Vini going to Arsenal, not, you know, maybe it was a negotiation tactic with Real Madrid to get the contract that he's wanted. Finally,
Mhm.
he's staying with Real Madrid, but I feel like there's a lot about like what players want to do, where they want to play. Does it? I feel like back in the days, the players didn't have all those options. You got a club,
Yeah.
you got a contract, and you played, and that was it. What's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah, no, yeah, I agree with you, but I think the world has changed. The world has evolved, and I think the players understand the power. And you always mentioned that in previous episode. Soccer has become a big business, right? And people know that. Hey, you come in, I mean, at the same time, we still feel like some teams still have the aura, right? Regardless of what it is, people gonna go. Regardless of who played for Real Madrid, people gonna go and watch Real Madrid, right? People gonna go and watch Barcelona. People gonna watch Manchester United, even though they haven't been good in the last couple years. But people gonna, they have some loyal fans who just gonna follow. I mean, look at Arsenal. Arsenal finally won the EPL. I mean, but they've been struggling. The fans been going to it for a long time. But I think and I think the fact that the players nowadays understand their brands, and I think also the power of social media, right? All those guys, even though they don't say it, they follow social media. They see what people are saying. They see what people are putting together, right? You never know. It might be one player said, "Man, can you imagine Alain playing in this type of environment and with that team?" And sometimes they get into those players' head, and they be like, "Yeah, maybe I have a better shot playing for that team." And so they understand the business. I think players nowadays are more business savvy, so they understand the business, they understand the leverage, and they use it to the maximum, right? I mean, again, I'll go back to the power of social media. I mean, all they can say is somebody can took a picture of one of a player look unhappy, and the next thing you know, they can run with that story and they say, "Man, we need to get him out of here." He's not happy.
Yeah,
Next
it's
thing you know, next thing you know, that becomes the story. So we'll see. But I'm with you, man. I think that this is a different world, and we it's not the same 1980 and 1990 players. The money it's bigger, and also it's globalization. Obviously, they see how those players in the NBA act. They see how those players in the NFL act. Maybe before that they didn't have those kind of access, or probably there was no. They didn't really care about it, right? But right now, it's easy to see to social media how somebody is behaving. So I don't know. So it's just my 2 cents on it. But I agree with you. It's a different world, man. It's a different world we live in, and I feel like the players they got more power than the players back in the day. But I'm with you. You gotta be professional. If you sign a contract, you have to
honor it.
you have to honor the contract. So, but good. Now we were talking about Real Madrid. So obviously the special one returns. Jose Mourinho returns to Real Madrid. So what does that mean? Is that the missing piece of Real Madrid having Mourinho back at the helm?
I don't know. I mean, there's a statement Mbappe stated like I think a few days ago that it's good to have someone who knows how to win back as a head coach. Maybe that was a little dab here to his prior coaches that probably haven't won anything. But it seems like
He played for Carlo Ancelotti. What
no,
did
no,
he
no,
make?
no. The coach prior, the couple ones that were before Mourinho, the last few coaches.
Javi.
Alonso, yeah, Javi Alonso. They didn't win anything. He's pretty much saying that this guy has more experience than the prior coaches, except for Ancelotti, of course. Um, but but I don't know. I mean, it seems like with Mourinho, it's gonna be a pretty basic model, right? Let's continue to feed the beast. Let's continue to feed Mbappe, and then let Mbappe do his thing. I think he upgraded his left flanks. He has Vini on the left, and I think Jomi on the right. This new player that they just signed up. You have Bellingham coming back. So you have that Spanish guy, Chicharella, what's his name is, he's done better than I do. He's gonna be back here in Real Madrid. So the team looks good on paper. So if the strategy is to feed Mbappe, let him do his magic, we saw how Spain handled that during the last World Cup. So I feel like we have to wait and see. But I can't really tell you anything until we start seeing how the team plays, right? I want to see more. I want to see them face a real group. I want them to play a solid group first and see how they adjust. But it seems like the momentum, the internet, social media seems to be happy with this choice. We shall see.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, when you're looking at what Jose Mourinho has done in the last couple of years, it's more like barks, than wins, right? And just like guys that live in the past, and what they did in the past work, and I feel like one thing I see with Jose Mourinho, I don't think he has evolved with his coaching, which I think that's one thing I see with Diego Simeone. I mean, I say it's like, man, something that worked 10 years ago might not work, now. So you gotta evolve your coaching style. So I mean, I'm with you. We're gonna have to wait and see. But I think it's one of those things that is they. I mean, it was one of those hire that they feel like, oh, let's try to bring back, somebody that can do it. But when you think about it, Jose Mourinho, as outside the La Liga, he didn't win the Champions League with Real Madrid. And then when he was the coach, that's where Barcelona was on top of the game. So, so when you think about it, so we'll see, man. You know, when he was coaching Real Madrid, they had Messi. Barcelona had Messi. Now he had to face Yamin Yamal. So we'll see what's gonna happen. We'll see what's gonna happen. I mean, I'm looking at the addition of Real Madrid. I mean, I still think that Real Madrid did not address the big issue that they had, and I know that you mentioned that multiple times, is Cruz. They never really replaced somebody like him, and it was just like they're just adding people that. So what I see it was Real Madrid, and I'm not. And I see with Real Madrid, they want to add they want to add people that they think that everybody want to see, right? Not really what they think that the team is needed to be better.
Mm,
So they go after the best player of certain teams and they try to integrate them in Real Madrid. And I think when you're looking at all those purchase they've done in the last couple of years, that's what they've done. They go after if somebody is hot right now, they go after him, and then but they never thought about okay, how am I going to integrate this player? So when you think about it, they never really address the defensive mid position. They never really address the creator. Because yeah, you got Vini, you got Mbappe, you got those guys, but somebody had to create for them. I mean, they can't create for themselves, right? I mean, Jude Bellingham, yes, he's not a creator, right? He's not a creator. He's a good player, but you need to have that person that can hold the midfield, that can control the game. That's what Real Madrid needs because that's what they had in Cruz. And then when Casemiro was young, that was the type of player that was cleaning everything. So I thought that, yeah, you can add Kukurea, you can add all those guys, but what really you needed to make this team better. I don't think they addressed that. I think they went to with the who's trending and they who's trending was the flashy name is, but not really something not really the players that's gonna make the team go. So again, I could be wrong. That's why we have a season to see. They have a long season, and so we'll see what they gonna have. So me as a Barcelona fan, I hope they fall flat on their face. so so I hope they fall flat on their face. But we'll see. So let me ask you this question. So with everything they have, they got Mourinho back. You kind of talk about the new addition that they had. Will they be able to win it all this year?
of course, of course. You should never underestimate Real Madrid. When you have somebody like Mbappe, you have Bellingham, you have Vini, you have Jomende, you have all those guys. You have Mourinho. Yes, I agree. I think your analysis is on point, coach. I think they haven't addressed the midfield. We don't have a Cruz on the team. I think that's where Barcelona is adding Rodri, which is I think a very sharp, smart move. That means that you're strengthening your midfield, and I think Barcelona gets it. Maybe that was the missing piece that they needed to get to the next level this year. But at the same time, you cannot underestimate Real Madrid. You cannot underestimate it. So I feel like maybe there's a player that's gonna step up this year. Maybe there's a secret weapon that we don't know about, but I think they are always a team to be fearful of, right? I think they have enough talent where if you don't come and play your best soccer, you will lose. Let's be clear on that. Like you cannot just assume because I don't have a Cruz anymore, or they're kind of weak in the defensive mid position, like you stated. Therefore, it's an automatic win. That is not true. You still have to come. You still have to play hard. You still have to beat them because if you don't beat them, they will beat you. So I still feel like Real Madrid and Barcelona are going to be the top teams this year in La Liga. Um, I probably will give a slight edge to Real Madrid because I feel like, because of Mbappe, I feel like Mbappe has something to prove. I feel like this guy always has something to prove. I think maybe that's going to be the fire in his belly that he needs this year because if you think about it, they lost the World Cup. France was the main team here, was the favorite to win this World Cup this year. They lost it. Brazil with Vini totally underperformed, although we were not too surprised about their performance. We anticipated that. But I feel like they really want to show to the world that, hey, we may have lost on the big stage this year, but we are going to make Madrid one of the best teams in Europe again. I think most of Barcelona kind of won the World Cup if you think about it, with all those players in on the team. So I
Yeah.
feel like they shouldn't feel too comfortable, right? You know, you won the World Cup, you won La Liga, you're riding on your highs right now, right? Now it's the moment to stay humble. It's the moment to stay focused, right? Because this season is not going to be easy. So I will give Madrid a slight edge over Barcelona because I feel like those players definitely have something to prove. And I think Mourinho also has something to prove.
Yeah, agree. I think that's a good analysis. I'm also Anthony Gordon. He played for England. Actually, he scored against Argentina in the semifinal game. He's playing for Barcelona. I'm very excited to see him playing for Barcelona to see how they can integrate him in the team. So Alain, the season starts next Saturday, this weekend. The season start, the EPL start, the La Liga start. So we back in full force. We'll be back in full force when it comes to European soccer, man. So a rapid prediction. Who do you have? Early prediction. Who do you have winning the La Liga?
PSG.
La Liga, PSG.
No. Sorry. I thought you meant European Cup. No,
Yeah.
La Liga. Let's go back. Like I said, I feel like I'm gonna give Real Madrid a slight edge
Okay.
over Barcelona. I feel like if they go in with the momentum with Vini, I think Vini is entering the last year of his contract, right? So I think next
No,
year
he renew it. He renew
he
it for
he
20.
renew
Yeah,
it for how
he
many
renew it.
years?
I
Okay.
think he renew it for 2033 or something like that.
Okay, I know there were negotiations and he kind of settled something. So okay, so
Yeah.
wow, so since he renewed it, so definitely he needs to prove that he was worth the money, or maybe show his worth. So yeah, I will obviously Barcelona is always the defending champion there, but I think Madrid is hungrier, so I'm
Yeah.
giving them a slight edge over Barcelona. How about you, coach?
I think I go with Barcelona. I go with Barcelona to win La Liga. And I have but I'm with you. I think Real Madrid, after 2 years with no trophies, so it makes sense for them to win this year. I mean,
Yep.
they have to. Otherwise, there's some heads gonna need to be rolled. You know what I'm saying? They have to. They have to. So yes, I think from that perspective, they should be hungry to win, but for some reason, man, Hansi Flick, man, he figured out the La Liga. I don't know about the Champions League, but La Liga, he kind of figured it out. So they're the defending champ. So they're defending champ for a reason. So until they get knocked out, so I'm gonna pick Barcelona. Now let's go from the EPL. Who you have winning the EPL this year?
I mean, Arsenal is still favorite. I think. I mean, I will say I will stick with Arsenal. I mean, I think they lost last year in the finals of the UCL, and I think like they're defending champions. They won it for the first time for a long time, not the first time.
They look good too today.
So I think I'm gonna stick with Arsenal to show that it wasn't a fluke
Hmm.
last year. I think they have another. Again, it's like we want to do it back to back to kind of show to the world it wasn't a fluke. We were meant to win it in the last season, and this season we're gonna win it again. So I'm gonna go with with Arsenal.
Okay. I'm with you. I think I'm gonna be with Arsenal too. So I don't know, but Man City. Man City is gonna be in transition team, especially with the new coach. Liverpool might be okay. So we'll see. Uh, Manchester United, only time will tell what we're gonna see with Manchester United.
Hmm.
Chelsea, I don't know what's going on with Chelsea. So yeah, I'm with you. I think Manchester United. I think Arsenal is the favorite to win it. It just because I just don't know what we're gonna get out of Man City this year. Okay.
Hmm.
All right, now Champions League. You think PSG gonna have the three-peat?
Yeah, PSG definitely is my number one pick. I think I'm gonna go with PSG. Um, then Arsenal, second position, and then I have to say Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. My opinion, I think that if a team's gonna win, I pick I pick I think Real Madrid is gonna be the favorite to win the Champions League. I think they're gonna
Wow. With
yeah,
no midfielder, with no midfielder, you just said they
I,
don't have a midfielder. Come on, man. What are you
yeah,
talking about?
yeah, I just think that they gotta focus on that one. Uh, I think that's the tournament they have to win to stay relevant. So that's why I feel like they're gonna try to do anything in their power to win that tournament. So I would say that yeah, I'm with you. I think PSG. It's hard to go three times, man. They went through.
Real Madrid did it.
Real Madrid did it, but it's very hard to get a three-peat. So I don't think, especially with all the reinforcement, I don't think Bayern's gonna be good again this year. So I think Bayern, that's another team to pay attention to. So it just for me now with Arsenal back at it, is it because Arsenal every year they get better? Is this the year that they finally get it done? So we'll see. I just feel like the three-peat is gonna be very 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 hard to do. But anyway, it's early. It's only August. Maybe we can change our tunes
Yeah, it's early. It's too
around
early.
April and March of 2027. But
Mhm.
that's why we call it early prediction. So anyway, all right, Alain. Couple things I like to say before we go. So I like to take 30 seconds. 30 seconds to kind of talk about it. I know we started by talking about Messi losing his dad, and that hit different for me because at the end of the day, I'm not just a football fan talking into a microphone. I'm a dad. I'm a dad. I'm a brother, and everything I do. This show, the community I built, it's rooted in that identity. Especially we talk about the fit data community. So if you're a father out there or a man who is trying to be the best version of himself, I want you to know about Faith Dad Community. It's a faith-driven movement built for dads. We're talking about fitness. We're talking about brotherhood. We're talking about real conversation between men who actually care about showing up for their families. So stronger dads build stronger family. That's not a tagline. That's what we believe in, and that's what we live. So if you're in the Fort Wayne area, and we have a Fade That event every third Monday of the month. So tomorrow we'll be at Crunch Fitness Fort Wayne, which is a brand new location. At 7 p.m. tomorrow, we will have a Fade That event, a monthly event where we're gonna work out together, have fun, and like I said, build that community, build that brotherhood, and create that in safe environment for dads to have the best version of themselves. So also, if you want to follow us, you can always go to Fit That Community, www.fitdatcommunity.com. We also on Instagram and Facebook. And if tonight conversation about Messi and his father move something in you, so please follow us on Instagram and YouTube, and then be part of the community. So Alain, before we go, what we got?
No, I think you said it all. I think we're looking forward for the season to start next week with all those major teams. I think we were very, very spoiled this year with the World Cup. I mean, I honestly personally miss it. I think there was a lot of exciting games, a lot of exciting talks. I think a lot of the fans were a little bit crazy on both sides of the fence for that month. But now it's time to go back to business. The season is starting. The World Cup is over. Let's focus on our clubs. A lot of football season is about to start also. Football season is starting. Soccer season is starting. So I think let's continue to watch those games, guys. We're inviting you to come over to join us every weekend, every Sunday to talk about football, talk about soccer, and then track our favorite teams and stars and see if our predictions are standing. And then you'll have your week to week analysis, and then we'll give our perspectives. And send us your questions and what you would like to see on the show moving forward for the 2026-2027 season.
Well said. And please don't forget to follow us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel which is Football Unfiltered. We also have an Instagram, same name, Football Unfiltered. And this is the best way to get in touch with us, and send us your questions, your requests, so we can talk about them. The topics, even the topics you would like for us to discuss. Please shoot us. DM us on Instagram, follow us, subscribe. We also on Spotify as well too. So this episode will be on YouTube and in our channel, so we can keep this going. And we excited. Football is back. No more World Cup talk, even though Alan still want to talk about the World Cup. But the World Cup is over. Now we back to European soccer. We're back to MLS. We're back to the club soccer now, and we can wait. And we can't wait to talk about it. And also, obviously, college football is it's around the corner. We're gonna be talking about Miami and Florida State at some point of the at some point of the in the season, and we can't wait to talk about it. Until then, thank you for being with us tonight. We always love you guys, and we'll talk to you later. Peace out.